Last year, I realized my weight was getting out of control. I was the heaviest I had ever been, and I needed to do something about it. And I had tried different diets before, and I knew I just needed something to kickstart it, something that could get me going on the right path. So I looked up the Age Management Center online. I heard a commercial on the radio. And so I looked at that, and it said they had a free consultation. So I went in and talked to Aaron, and he explained the whole program to me, and it sounded like something that I wanted to try. So I started out at 282 pounds when I weighed in, and we immediately started. He got all my stats and measures and everything, and we started out with a cleanse, and that was about a week, and then we went through the HCG phase. And I just started learning, what foods to eat, how often to eat. It was a very good program to nutrition-wise. It was easy to follow. I mean, people ask me, is it like a hard program to do? And I said, no, it's basically you're eating what you're supposed to eat. And so, it was very easy, and I just couldn't believe how quick the weight started to come off. And I mean, I know you're supposed to lose a lot right away, but I mean, it just kept going and going, and it just kept me wanting to keep going because I was doing so well, rather than, when you do it at home, when you lose a pound, you gain a pound, you lose 2 pounds, you gain a pound, and it's so slow. But this went so fast that it must have just really, start my metabolism, because it just. And so about the end of 6 months, I went through two sets of the phases, or two sets of programs, and ended up losing over 100 pounds. And I'm still keeping up with it, and it's a lifestyle change. Right. And now I work in retail, so I see people. I have regulars, and I see them on a regular basis. So they've seen me go through this process, plus the people I work with, and so I get questions all the time. They're like, "What are you doing? You're just you're just wasting away here." And so I explain them about the phases and things like that. And they're like, "Is it hard?" And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's you're doing what you're supposed to do, and learning how to do it."
What's something that you're doing now that maybe a year ago you couldn't do because of the amount of weight that you have?
Well, it's fun to shop again. Actually try on clothes and look good in them, and it's like I can't believe the person in the mirror anymore. It's a totally different person.
I guess it's been more of a lifelong thing, but when I started this whole journey, I was over 243 pounds. I've tried lots of different things before. Weight Watchers, fasting. I mean, you name it, I've probably tried it, and nothing ever clicked with my body the way that this program did. I don't think that anything was ever as comprehensive as this was, and everything was easy. It kind of just all fell into place. I mean, it was work, but it was effortless, I guess. Well, after having my son, I just felt like it was harder and harder to be in the shape that I wanted to be in, and my body wasn't reacting to things how I felt it should be. And I had been going to Age Management, using the doctors there for my general physician, and saw about the weight management program, went to a seminar, and then just decided, what have I got to lose? It's one more thing. It'll either work or it won't, and it worked really well for me. I have lost 86 pounds in the last 7 months. I feel like the program has matched who I am on the inside now with the outside. I've always been an active person, but running at 240 some pounds is not an easy or fun thing to do. I love going to hot yoga. Just did the stand-up paddleboard yoga in Reeds Lake. That was really fun, and it's just nice to have the confidence that losing all the weight gives you to be able to try things that are new. And I've done some CrossFit workouts at a gym here in town, which are pretty intense, and I like to find new ways to challenge myself just to get myself in better shape.
Or you see each other, it's like, oh, okay, you're doing it, I can do it if you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it, I can do it, and it was where you draw strength off in each other. But then I would sit there at lunchtime and I'm watching my fellow co-workers and what they're eating, and I'm thinking, was at one point stuffing all that same stuff in my mouth. And after going through all this, there's no way I'm going to be fat again. ain't happening. The medical issues is what brought me in. I was on the verge of being a full-blown diabetic. For those people that understand diabetes, well, my A1Cs is what determines being a diabetic or not being a diabetic. My A1Cs were uncontrolled, and they were very high. I was in the 8s, and having a history in my family, I didn't want to end up like my mom, and who didn't take care of herself. And you know, exercise wasn't working. It just wasn't enough to do it. I couldn't. No matter what I exercised, I couldn't bring my weight down. I couldn't get my A1Cs under control. The diet that the doctor had recommended was not working. And to me, it was a very serious concern because of all these medications. My medications were increasing. I had to take more of this and more of that. And now I got something new to take. And, you know, and then you start worrying about it. And then the wife come home with a nice pamphlet, and I read it over, and just out of the blue, I said, I'm going to make the call. And I believe I was Aaron I was talking to, and I asked the wife, I said, he said, would you and your wife going to do it? Come in for the initial meeting. And I said, well, I looked at the wife and I said, do you want to go? And she said, sure. So we went, and after having our initial meeting, I was sold on the plan right away because it was going to teach me something that I didn't know, and that was how to eat better. And it was, that was a prospect that I was more than willing to take. Happy with it? Yeah, I'm not on the medications anymore, which is, to me, is where I want to be. My A1Cs are 5.7, I believe it is, which is anything under 7 you're doing great. Anything under 6, you're doing really good. So technically, I'm not a diabetic anymore, even though I still need to watch what I eat, which I do. But health-wise, yeah, I feel much better. My knees feel better. I've had to throw all my clothes out. I have had to go back. The wife and I took a pickup load of clothes and had to donate them because they did not fit. I am right about 50 pounds in loss of weight. I was bouncing between 230 and 235. I believe when I started the course, I was 229, just under 230, and I'm at 180. So, yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah. I think if more people actually seen what they actually put in their mouth, or just sit back and watch what the other people eat as you're having your lunch, you'll see what you're doing wrong.
Probably the last several years, I was continually gaining weight, and through that, eating worse and exercising less, becoming more and more sedentary, and my health continued to decline. Medication continued to go up, on medication for hypersomnia because I was falling asleep during the day, and high doses, or the highest dose of Lipitor cholesterol medication, and just feeling pretty rotten. So back in December, I was told I should lose 25 pounds in order to decrease the medication. And so when I brought the brochures home, and then he was interested in a weight program, I kind of handed him the brochure, and he went ahead and called, and I said, sure, I'll go ahead and go with you. And yeah, it made sense when we sat there and talked to Aaron. It made perfect sense that, this is an investment in our health and well-being, and this is a program that is very specific and has a pattern to it in which, we can follow. And through that, I was able to get off all my medicine, but my asthma and allergy medicine, and I have tons of energy. I get home and I feel happy and ready to do something where before I could barely get in the door and fall on the couch. And having some crises in my life at this time as well, having gone through the program, I'm able to better prepare for the day that, okay, I know I'm going to be sitting at the hospital for the day. I'm going to plan out my meals ahead of time. I'm going to go for a walk before I go up to the hospital. And just having that energy and the knowledge how to prepare and make some better choices.